What's up guys, Causeway Giant here, and welcome to my full trailer analysis of the new Rogue One DLC coming to Star Wars Battlefront. Wow, I honestly can't believe we're here doing this already. It only seems like a couple of days ago when I did the Death Star one. Oh, and if you want to check that one out, I'll pop a link up now. I don't really know why you'd want to see it, well, unless you've been in cryo sleep for the past couple of months, but it's there anyway. Hashtag advertising. Anyways, enough about the Death Star DLC, and let's move on to the Death Star DLC too. I mean, seriously, Rogue One is all about the Death Star, so surely it's going to be there in Scarif somewhere, like in the space missions or something. I don't know, it's just a bit weird. And it's also kind of strange that the Battlefront DLC is coming out before the movie, but hey, I'm not complaining. So I'll show you the trailer first, just in case any of you's missed it, and here it is.
Our mission today could change the galaxy forever.
Target lock acquired.
The shield is open. Get to the planet's surface.
Push him back!
Orson Krennic will provide support.
Strike incoming!
This is our one chance. Stand with us.
So that was the trailer. I gotta say, I don't think it was as good as the Death Stars. It was like way shorter, and it just didn't feel as epic as the Death Star. Don't get me wrong, I'm still hyped. Man, even if it was a new leaf texture being added to the game, I'd still be hyped. But it just didn't have as much impact compared to the other ones for me. But anyway, enough talk. Let's, well, talk about the trailer, I guess. So the first shot we get is a very slow-paced first-person view of rebel troopers advancing on Scarif, and holy squid biscuits, does Scarif look awesome. It kind of reminds me a bit of Kashyyyk, but with less walking carpets. I'm so excited to see more of it, and I honestly think it could become my favourite planet. At the minute it's Alderaan, well, before it got blown up. Your favourite planet of all the thousands of awesome planets in the whole Star Wars universe can't just be a clump of asteroids. The actual rebel beckoning his arm forwards in the shot is wearing a new skin. It looks a bit like the Celestin rebel skin, but with goggles and a heavier jacket. There is also what looks to be a crashed X-Wing in the bottom right, because it's Battlefront. Every map has to have like 10 crashed ships in it. We then see Jin, the new rebel hero, coming into the shot, but more on her later. As they advance, we see a TIE Striker flying past, the new Imperial vehicle pickup. This is a nice looking ship, and it is described on StarWars.ea.com as the devastating TIE Striker that makes strafing runs on nearby rebel targets, clearing out heavily fortified enemies. This sounds perfect for attacking objective areas, and a new vehicle is always good. The AT-AT then fires a blast at the rebels. The AT-AT. Come on guys, AT-ACTs are so cool looking, and this is the only time we've ever seen them, and you just do normal AT-ATs? Wow. Imagine Walker Assault with giant AT-ACT. Oh okay, that just generally gave me goosebumps. So thanks DICE, I'm becoming a Star Trek fan.
Traitor!
So just in case you can't put two and two together, we get a fade of text reading inspired by Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Is it just me, or does a Star Wars story sound kinda weird? It sounds like a children's bedtime story or something. And then Darth Vader killed them all. The end. If you want part 2, you're gonna have to pay 50 quid for downloadable content. And then, oh, the Scarif Stormtrooper comes into shot. OMG, boy does this skin look amazing. It's by far my favourite ever Imperial skin, but not only does it look awesome, it should also come in really handy on maps like Endor, as the Imperials have like no camouflage on those maps. And better still, he is wielding the new super awesome E11. Yeah guys, that's not a new weapon. We'll get to them bad boys later. It then cuts to those new Scarif rebels running through a forest and setting up a perimeter, as Jin is properly introduced to the trailer. I gotta say, she looks nothing like Felicity Jones, but hey guys, capturing actors' faces is hard biz, and they did really well with like every other one, so it's hard to expect that they'll get every single one perfect. Now the trailer switches to space, which will most likely be the first stage of the new game mode titled Infiltration. From the trailer and what has been said on StarWars.ea.com, it looks as though the rebels will have to activate this big gateway into Scarif and fly through it to progress to the Scarif beaches and forests to destroy a larger building or ship, probably containing kyber crystals to power the Death Star super laser. This is only speculation, as the game mode isn't as obvious as the battle station one for the Death Star, but I can't imagine it would end up being too different to that. Also, it has been revealed that the U-Wing will be a playable ship during this stage of the battle, which is awesome because they are such cool ships and playable vehicles are always a bonus, though it would have been good if they had made the TIE Strikers playable in this game mode as well, as both vehicles are pickups on the ground, but only the U-Wing is playable in space. On a side note, this space combat looks amazing and the gateway into Scarif looks absolutely incredible. So hyped! After the rebels fly through into Scarif, it reverts back to the ground combat, which I think will be the second part of the game mode. During a shot of a bunch of rebels sprinting, we see a U-Wing taking off, which is probably someone activating the power-up, but it's still quite interesting as the other ships in Battlefront spawn in the skies when you get a pickup, but it looks like the U-Wing will take off from the ground, which is pretty cool. The next shot reveals the Scarif jungles and we get a first-person view of a rebel trooper, but strangely enough he isn't actually showcasing any of the new Star Cards or weapons. He's wielding the A280C and has a thermal detonator and scattergun star cards with the Ion Shot charge card. This is kind of weird, though there is only one star card to actually be added to the DLC anyway, which is the Sonic Imploder. This is described on StarWars.ea.com as a sound-based hybrid grenade that temporarily blinds enemies in addition to lowering their armor rating. The Sonic Imploder also damages any enemies in its immediate vicinity. This sounds very similar to the flash grenade, yet the fact that it also lowers the armor rating and damages nearby enemies sounds like this will be a very useful star card to have. It then cuts back to the super awesome Scarif Stormtroopers. I mean, look at them, they're so cool. As they're attempting to push the rebels back, Jin demonstrates one of her abilities as she comes up and absolutely smashes a Scarif Stormtrooper into oblivion. Damn! Just like in my last trailer analysis, I'm going to quickly outline what Jin's abilities are and then we'll get back to the trailer. So her weapon is the new A180 blaster pistol that in StarWars.ea.com is said to be Jin Erso's versatile blaster pistol, manufactured to be swiftly reconfigured into a blaster rifle, sniper rifle, or ion launcher. This sounds like it's going to be a crazy weapon, as it's taking the Briar pistols and TL-50's secondary fire to the extreme by having 3 abilities. It sounds like these will come in really handy depending on if you're fighting close range, long range, or against vehicles, so I imagine it won't have a lot of firepower to compensate for this. The first ability that we just saw demonstrated in the trailer a minute ago was Jin's Truncheon Surge. It looks like an upgraded version of the standard melee attack, but what is interesting is that when she uses it there is no cooldown. Instead, a number in the ability goes from 4 out of 9 to 3 out of 9. This attack will have a certain amount of uses and will need to be replenished by charges that she gets by killing people. This sounds pretty awesome, as I'm sure that it'll be useful for taking out a big group of enemies, though it should be noted that this ability cannot be spammed. Her second ability is called Rifle Configuration, which allows Jin to, well, configure her blaster pistol into a blaster rifle. This can be done freely like Bosch's Predatory Instincts, which sounds pretty cool, though I hope that the pistol mode is also useful, as otherwise people who play as Jin would probably just use the blaster rifle configuration, as generally blaster rifles are more powerful than blaster pistols. Her final ability is a Sonic Imploder, a more powerful version of the star card in the game, like Greeter's Dioxis grenades and thermal detonators. Jin's trait will be based off her Truncheon Surge ability, as the higher her trait is, the more charges she gets per kill. Overall, Jin sounds like she'll be an awesome short range hero, and I can't wait to try out her Truncheon Surge on maps like the Death Star. Back to the trailer, we see Jin dispatching another Scarif Stormtrooper with her A180, and the structure that she is fighting outside of blows up, which I think will be the objective that I was talking about earlier. We then get a first glimpse at Krennic with the super cool Death Troopers in the background. It has been confirmed that the Death Troopers will only be playable as bodyguards like the Royal and Honor Guard, which sucks because A, they're an awesome skin and I would love to use them, and B, it would be quite unfair for the Imperials to have 2 bodyguard heroes, the Emperor and Krennic, and for the Rebels to only have 1, Leia. However, these ones are different to the other bodyguards, as instead of having a homing shot and smart rocket, they instead have a smart rocket, thermal imploder, and a cooling flush, so they're going to be way better than the other bodyguards. It's just a shame that the Death Trooper isn't an unlockable skin. As for Krennic, first off, he wields the new DT-29 blaster pistol that on StarWars.ea.com is the signature heavy blaster of Orson Krennic, which is fitted with an energy pack and greatly enhances its stopping power and rate of fire. What is interesting about this blaster is that it has 6 rounds in each magazine and needs to be reloaded, so it is completely unique to all the other blasters in the game. His first ability is similar to Jin's in that it changes his main weapon to the Armor Breaker, which basically slows down the rate of fire but enhances the firepower. It one-shots infantry and lowers armor, so it is very effective against other heroes. It can also be toggled on and off, so I'm really excited for this ability. It sounds very similar to Leia's Trooper Bane, though it lowers the armor of heroes instead of stunning them. His second ability is the C2B5 Astromech droid, which deploys both a shield and deadly Dioxis clouds. This sounds perfect for defending objectives, as it would be very hard to destroy due to the shield and Dioxis clouds. We also see a strange looking Imperial symbol on the right hand side, which is called the Wrath of the Empire, and boosts the health and armor of nearby teammates and himself. A normal infantry soldier standing next to Krennic when this happens will get double their health, which benefits both the soldier and Krennic, as the soldier would get a lot of health and would then be encouraged to stay around and defend Krennic to keep getting these armor boosts. His trait boosts the armor of himself and teammates, and the more teammates that are near him, the higher the armor boost is. Due to all these abilities, it sounds like Krennic will be the best hero at defending objectives, and I'm probably more excited to try him out over Jin. Back to the trailer again, we see Krennic using both the armor breaker and C2B5 astromech droid abilities as a Scarif stormtrooper calls in a TIE striker. A U-wing then appears into frame, and we see someone making use of the U-wing power-up on ground combat, which basically allows you to bombard the enemy with blaster fire as the U-wing circles the battlefield from above. As it descends, we get a better view of the Death Trooper, which just looks so cool. I really wish that they were unlockable skins. The final shot is of Jin punching a Scarif trooper in the face, and we get the Rogue One DLC logo, as the title card reveals that it will be coming out on Tuesday the 6th of December. Guys, I can't wait for this DLC. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments section down below, and stay tuned for lots of Scarif gameplay on my channel. But until then, bye!